Predictable, predictable. Which I'm not surprised about, We just had night two of the WWE draft, and not too surprised about the picks. I mean, everything kind of fell in order after night one, but we're still going to react to some of these options and talk about the more interesting ones, which were some of those call ups. You feel me? So stay tuned and let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this list because, again, majority of it is predictable. We have Rhea Ripley, which makes sense because Bianca's on SmackDown. Austin Theory makes sense because Gunther's on Raw. Seth Rollins, obviously, top tier candidate for that new heavyweight title. And Charlotte, I guess Charlotte's somewhat interesting. I mean, I didn't expect her to get changed, but her staying on SmackDown just makes sense. I'm not trying to see her on TV, respectfully. And we can honestly continue with this list. Sami and Kevin at Raw makes sense. The Usos to SmackDown did surprise me because I thought they were going to separate the bloodline, but I guess just for Jay to maybe have some more storylines with Roman and separate them with Sami and Kevin, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, Judgment Day to Raw, LWO to SmackDown, Liv Morgan and Raquel to Raw, which doesn't really matter because, again, I feel like when you have those tag titles, you're just going to move around regardless. Asuka to SmackDown makes sense. New Day to Raw makes sense. Brawling Brutes to SmackDown makes sense. Or them staying there, I should say. Trish Stratus to Raw. Karrion to SmackDown. Ronda and Shayna to Raw. LA Knight to SmackDown. Personally, I don't like it. I think he deserves to be on Raw, but either way, he's good on the mic and he's going to be electric wherever he goes, so it is what it is. Ricochet and Braun to Raw. Shotzi to SmackDown. Bronson Reed stays on Raw. Again, majority of that is predictable, but let's not focus too much on that. Let's focus on the NXT call-ups. You feel me? This is what really stood out for me, and we could just get the tag teams out the way. Pretty Deadly, not a team I really watched a lot of, but I will say they got chemistry and they got drip. Not my type of drip, but they got drip that just makes them stand out. And I feel like in the tag team division, you just need some of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these teams just get watered down and dissolved in the mix, kind of like the Viking Raiders. So I feel like this team, it might be refreshing to have them on SmackDown. And then you have this team, which they need a team name. I'm not about to sit here and say Katana Chance and Kaden Carter every day. Like, that's not going to fly. But another good team, like high flying mixed with just a lot of like acrobats and martial arts. Like, I don't know, they're very interesting. And I think the women's division is getting more and more stacked, which will be a problem for some to really shine. But I feel like that just makes the product better. So I'm excited for this call up. Excited to see what they can do on Raw. And yeah. Now we move on to Jinder and his little two sidekicks. I don't know how to pronounce his team name, so I'm not even going to try. But I swear one of them is Veer, and then the other guy's been in NXT for a bit. I don't know what's going on, because they did all that packaging for Veer, didn't really amount to anything, and now he's a backup option. So I still like Jinder just being on, a roster, because I think he definitely holds some weight. And shoot, when he was champion, I didn't mind it. It was refreshing. It was new. So I'm glad to see him on Raw. I'm trying to think of some feuds he would be good with. Again, if he's a heel, probably the smaller guys, maybe a Matt Riddle, Johnny Gargano type of thing. But hopefully, as a faction, this team can actually go places because these look like some menacing guys. So let's just hope they take this group serious. To the moon, man. To the moon. Cameron Grimes to SmackDown. It's a good pick. And I think he could definitely, take over with his mic skills and his in-ring skills. Like him, LA Knight, the other NXT caller we're going to talk about in a second. Definitely could be good mid-carders to have, especially around Austin Theory. So I'm excited to see what they do with him. And yeah, that this is just a good pickup. I'm just happy that he's not in NXT anymore. He was there for a little too long. But someone who wasn't there for too long, Grayson Waller. And I mean, again, he got good mic skills, good in ring skills. Like he deserves it. So, again, I see him being strong in the mid card. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I mean, I like his gimmick just as far as him standing out, but he gives me just Miz vibes, and I don't hate the Miz, but I don't know. It's unless there's a title put around him, I just can't take him serious. So we'll see if he ends up winning the United States title on SmackDown coming in the future. But again, solid pickup. I decided to do two back-to-back SmackDowns because this last pick, we gonna have to talk about this last pick for a little bit. Just look at him. Look at this man. If this man doesn't look like a champion to you, then you got it all wrong. This man is Big E mixed with Keith Lee mixed with Mark Henry with a huge ass smile on his face. You cannot tell me this is not a main attraction. I don't know if y'all have seen this boy wrestle, but I'm gonna have to post a highlight clip, man, of this man alone. This man, Odyssey Jones, better be pushed correctly in the next coming years. I'm sorry, I just had to zoom in because I don't think y'all are taking this serious. Like this man should be in. I can see him facing anybody, literally anybody on the roster, and having a good match with them. Small guy, someone his size, someone bigger, taller. Like you can't on Raw. Let's see, Gunther's on Raw. You can't tell me this man can't fight Gunther and have a classic down the line. You can't tell me this man can't fight Brock Lesnar. Freaking retirement match. Send that boy packing for good. Come on now, Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, Cody Rhodes. I don't give a damn. Odyssey Jones is the truth. And I don't care if I have to push this narrative until he's booked properly, but this is my guy. I'm riding out. So watch out. Because again, I think this was the best call up. Out of the whole draft, this was the best pick of the draft. So with that being said, Raw won. Simple. And with that being said, man, that's my reaction to the draft. Night two was good. Again, predictable for the most part. It feels like every champion got moved to a different brand besides Roman, so that's funny to me. And I think the NXT call-ups are what's really gonna shake things up. Still surprised overall. I didn't see Braun get moved, but I don't know. He's big named, so they could wait to move him down the line. But yeah, Backlash coming up. I'm gonna do some predictions for that, so stay tuned. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, man. That's my 2 cents. So I'll catch y'all later. Peace.